I still support abortion is worse than slavery. Look at the types of slavery that's going on right now, right here in this country, and you're gonna say that's a really big stretch for you to call slavery. I don't know, student debt. I call that slavery.
You do?
What the fuck? Wow, chat. Boy, oh boy. We get on, and we see something going viral on TikTok, and I'm like, oh my. Just reading this, I gotta react to it because this is crazy. I know when I get on TikTok, the first thing I see, I shouldn't see this. This is just bananas. This is utterly bizarre, if you ask me. I know what she else. She want the views. She trying to go viral. This what she gotta be doing. I ain't watched the video yet. I need to finish listening. Cause all I read is abortion is worse than slavery. Oh my gosh, Karen. What do you know about slavery, bitch? Huh? Huh, Karen? What do you know about slavery? Can she tell me what she... Let me listen. Let me listen. I got the blood. Let me listen. Let me fucking listen.
Abortion's worse than slavery.
Well,
I don't care if this hurts your feelings. I don't care. Abortion is the #1 worst human rights issue that has ever happened on American soil.
That is crazy, right? That is crazy. Abortion is the #1 worst human rights issue that has ever happened on American soil. Abortion is worse than slavery. So she just said that them people dragging some of our ancestors. They was most of our ancestors now. Dragging our ancestors, getting bit by dogs, motherfucking whipped and changing their names, getting raped. They motherfucking getting separated from their families, getting raped probably by your ancestors, by this girl ancestors, getting raped by this girl ancestors. All type of malicious behavior. And you mean tell me that don't compare? I mean that is belittled. That's nothing. That is nothing. That is nothing compared to somebody wanting to abort a baby. That is nothing compared to somebody wanting to abort a baby. I'm guessing the baby gotta be finna. I hope you talking about the baby finna be 9 months, and that's what makes it worse. Cause then that makes it the same thing. It doesn't make it the same thing. I just capped. Why am I capping? It doesn't make it the same thing. But I would understand if you were saying a motherfucking, it's already, the 9th month, and they want to abort it. I would understand you trying to put them on the same type of level, but there go that butt chat. So you know what that be. But if you're talking about a baby before the little first trimester, they found out that they was pregnant and they aborted, and you said that's worse than slavery, Bill? That is crazy. That is just completely, utterly stupid if you ask me.
Fuck your life! Bing bang!
It's wild. It's so wild that we could just belittle something like that. That's crazy. I gotta hear it again. I got to.
Worse than slavery.
Well,
I don't care.
And then, what do she even know? What do she even know? Do she know anything? Man, I know her grandma wasn't telling her about it. Her grandma couldn't have been telling her about it. Her grandma wasn't living through it. So what's the real issue here? What's the real issue here? Let me go to another. We go to
Abortion's worse than slavery.
It
I don't care how. I don't.
It gotta be more. It can't just be this. It can't just be this. What I want to know is, what makes abortion worse than slavery? That's what I want to know. What I want to know is just what makes it. Why? Why is abortion worse than slavery? Oh, slavery. Whew. That was some shit right there. That was some shit right there. So what makes it? Makes it worse? Like, why are we even trying to put them on pedestals and shit? Certain shit like that. Why can't abortion be bad and just slavery be bad? Why do one gotta be worse than the other? Why is that even? Well, it's crazy. It is crazy. And then don't even get us started into. Some people can't even afford babies. Some people can't even afford themselves. They can't even afford to take care of themselves. And then you want them to take care of a kid? And then we wonder why people are homeless. Kids are this, kids are that. Because they're getting forced to be brought into the world now. It's crazy. Hey, I'm gonna have to find some more shit on this and see what this is about, because this is crazy. All right, chat. So I did some digging. I did some digging. That was a clip, obviously, from a whole podcast. Did a little digging. I ain't found the podcast yet. I didn't find the podcast yet. So sadly, reacted to what they clipped. 35 seconds in, sadly reacted to what they clipped, and we gonna react to it, see what she said, cause it gotta be more details to this nonsense. She is a character. She want them clicks. She got them views. Hey, I see your system. You're using abortion and slavery as motherfucking a way to leverage for some money, huh? You got them views. I see what you're doing. Yeah, hey, I give you a hand clap for that one. I can't knock the game plan.
So first of all, a very common question is, why do you feel the need to compare the two? Mm-hmm. They're both in.
Yeah, it's a very, very good question. That's a question I was wondering. Why do you feel the need to compare the two?
Justices.
That's a very good question. Man, that is a very good question.
Hey,
why do you?
That's funny as hell. She already knows where she's fucking up. Hey, she's trying to get in front of it like she's Eminem.
Hey man, that's a very great question, man. That is a very great, because I never in my life did I think that.
You and me both, cuz. You and me both. Hey, I never in my life was like, hey man, abortion, that shit terrible. But slavery, that shit worse. I ain't ever know. Hey, it was I wouldn't even. I'm no, yeah. She got me lost. How do you come to that point? It's a lot of questions I want to ask her, but hopefully she answers them without me asking her. Hopefully they already asked.
Myself, like when I really want to have these conversations, I need you to start comparing two tragedies with one another.
I feel the need to compare the two because our society is completely desensitized to what abortion is.
Yeah. And
our generation, especially in Gen Z,
if we was completely desensitized to it, we wouldn't have a law now of this shit. I can't tell we desensitized to it. I really can't. I really can't tell how desensitized we is just because it is motherfucking kids being born every 6 seconds.
And be like, I just got done slaving.
Facts.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
no, you didn't.
That's a good one, folks. That's a good one. Literally. I use that one. I'll tell a nigga he slaving quick. You see that? Some of us do it and you don't even think about it. You just do it. But you know, hey, I'm gonna admit to it. I know it. I said quick as hell. Oh, nigga, you just got done slaving like fuck. They got you out there. They got the white nigga got you. Hey, I know. And we laugh about it. So come on. This is crazy.
He's worked hard, dog.
You had AC.
And you got paid.
And niggas niggas got paid. So you definitely wouldn't slave it. You got your money's worth.
Abortion is worse than slavery because it really forces people to think. Because what's the worst human rights issue that everybody talks about? Slavery. And yes, of course, it was heinous, it was wrong, it was immoral.
Shit, everybody don't talk about it, man.
It was disgusting. We all know
that the reason she thinks everybody talks about it is because she ain't in it. She ain't ever. She's on the outside looking in, guys. She want the views, like I said.
that. But once you put slavery and abortion in the same sentence, it really forces you to understand the true atrocities of abortion. I've said this many times.
Yeah.
It is the number one human rights issue that is going on in our country right now.
There was a guy who commented on that post on TikTok when I put that.
Bitch, it is done voluntarily. It's done voluntarily. Everything about slavery is involuntary.
But what she was saying is that when the procedure occurs, when the procedure happens, like the baby is not voluntary. That's what they're saying.
Okay, all right. So hold on now. Are you arguing that little itty bitty infant went through worse than a fucking slave?
I know it's not even an infant. Like, yeah, for people who don't know, like, at least I'm gonna say my stance on the whole procedure. We're not even talking about a fetus, bro. We're talking about an embryo. Majority of women who have the procedure have it within the first trimester, have it within the first 8 weeks before the 2-month period starts.
I forget who he responded to, but I think it was some girl that was like, as a black woman, this is horrible. I can't believe you would say something like this. And this one guy responded, and he said, 60 million plus kids have been murdered since 1973 or have, been aborted since 1973. It's not a stretch to say that abortion is worse than slavery.
It is.
And I was like, wow, this guy's probably thinking about it critically.
Yeah. First, before I go into my argument, that response of girls, I'm black. I can't believe you're saying that. I'm getting tons of comments about that. This is how dumb people are. People really think that
only black people have been enslaved.
That only black people
throughout history.
Guys.
Hold on.
Literally, probably the majority of human beings on Earth today, their ancestors owned slaves.
Right.
Like slavery was so widespread and people so common, especially on TikTok. I mean, these people really think they're like.
So let's pause for a second.
Because we gotta pause because it was a lot of people that was enslaved. But wasn't the same type of slavery that happened. And we all know the slavery that happened, guys. So we ain't gonna sit here and be stupid. Was it for as long as it happened? Come on.
Because, you specifically said on American soil. So let's be clear with that. You said that. That's the reason why people would then jump to the conclusion about Africans being enslaved on America. But for you to then further, this is the crazy part. For you to then further identify that slavery has impacted
the whole exactly. I'm glad everybody catching her. I'm glad everybody catching her, man, because this is total nonsense if you ask me.
The entire world.
It only impacted one race.
Continue to only cite American abortion statistics is fucking dumb. You're dumb. If you acknowledge that slavery has impacted the entire world for millennia at this point, like for decades and hundreds of years, centuries and centuries, if you acknowledge that, but then compare that, what you're doing right now, how it's impacted the entire world, but only are talking about abortions in America, it's even worse because by default that means that slavery has impacted more people than abortions have. So it still doesn't make any sense.
You're not black, you've never experienced slavery. I'm like, babe, it doesn't matter what color your skin is, you've never experienced slavery either. And let me tell you something, even if you're black, Asian, Hispanic, I don't know, purple, whatever color you are, very likely that your ancestors somewhere down the line owned slaves. You know why?
Yeah.
because slavery was a widespread human rights issue for many, many centuries around the world. In pretty much every era, pretty much every...
About it like it's the past. Bro, I'm not a fucking historian, but there's a place on the planet right now where people are enslaved that I might want to visit, and my selfish ass hasn't spoke on the internet because I don't want to get checked when I get to the border. Some of these countries. Yeah, bro, it still exists on the planet. There are people in places they don't want to be, and they can't leave, and they're working there.
They don't know about Ukraine men can't leave. The motherfucking, they can't leave. Only the women and the children is able to leave. They is not letting the Ukraine man leave out there. They don't know about that. She just talking right now. It's crazy how. Let's just go back to it. It's the internet. Go ahead, talk your nonsense and get them views.
Ass is off. It's not a thing of the past. It's not even like a different version of slavery. It's just regular slavery, and it still exists.
A nation still is. All these people are like, I'm black, you can't say that. I'm like, bruh, do you know about the current slavery happening right now in Africa? You want to talk about that? Or you want to cry about the slavery that happened here hundreds of years ago?
Yeah.
You want to talk about the slavery that's happening right now in China, right now in Africa? Probably not.
No.
Because you're disingenuous.
Yep.
And they're like, you need to read a history book. I'm like, it's so ironic that you say that because they actually think that the only people on planet Earth to have ever been enslaved were black people.
Them history books, they'll shit. If you talk about them school books, hey, don't get me started on no damn school books.
So again, just from a logical lens, if you are comparing it to abortions that happen in the States, bro, if you just look at the numbers, you can go to CDC right now, bro, it's like 600,000-700,000. It's like under 1 million. It's actually been cut in half since 1990. If you look at that number, to believe, especially since now you are correlating it to slavery throughout the entire world, or to believe that in the entire world that there aren't more than 600,000 people enslaved right now is crazy. That would be dumb of you to believe that.
And people who you were saying are desensitized to the idea of abortion.
Yes. So now let me unpack why abortion is worse than slavery.
I'll be like Ben Affleck. Go, the bags are ready. They're here. Go unpack it.
Okay. So the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Listen to that order. The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What does abortion take away? It takes away the right to life. And do you think that our founding fathers just threw those words together willy-nilly, nonchalantly, without ever thinking about them? You think the order of those words doesn't have any meaning?
Hey bro, I'm so sick of Americans pretending like the founders of this country were some philosophical great beings. They own slaves! What the fuck is going on about?
You think when they wrote that, they were like, yeah, my slave down the street definitely gonna like me writing this in. No, they didn't. When they were writing in those rights, those civil liberties, it was not what they envisioned that they were gonna give them to slaves, dog. So you believing they had a right to life, all that was not given to slaves, dog.
No.
The only
Reading
reason
the
why-
Constitution like it's some sort of like holy text is fucking crazy. These are humans who wrote it.
What's
man.
more, you going back to America. So when people try to figure out why people pivoted to Africans being enslaved in America, it's because you keep referencing America. That's why. But again, when they were writing that, they were not thinking to themselves, Jerome really gonna like how I'm fucking spitting this fucking civil liberties to him.
He's gonna think I'm hella progressive.
Yeah, he's gonna think I'm hella progressive. No! The only reason why slaves weren't dying is because the fucking slave owner believed that there was some type of concept to them living. That's it. It's not as if like the slaves had the ability to determine if they want to live or not. No, that was up to the slave master. It's the reason why when they were going from Africa to America, literally over 1 million slaves died within the process, and they didn't care. They just dumped them over the boat. So the right to life still was not given to slaves. It was given to the slave owner to determine if they were going to kill them or not. So it still doesn't make any sense. But for you to sit here and quote some shit from the founding fathers and you believe that when they wrote that, they in their mind they were like, bro, gotta make sure these slaves are covered.
Yeah.
Like that's what you thinking
You
right
think
now?
the founding fathers were so poetic that the order of which they wrote this shit in is relevant? Damn, like I don't know what the fuck to think. This is crazy.
But even if though, let's just say they were not writing that with the envisions that they were going to give these rights to slaves, dog. They were slaves.
Hey, man.
But by your logic, neither one of them had those rights. Babies who got in there because of the procedures and slavery, neither one of them got the rights.
Hey, she's dumb.
If you're not alive,
Can't have liberty.
You can't have liberty. You can't have a right to the pursuit of happiness. Now, again, I can't even believe I have to say this, but I have to say this for all the dum-dums. Obviously, slavery is one of the worst things that human beings have ever done to each other.
When we look at it in the 21st century.
Well, it depends. Look, she found her cheerleader. Pick me, pick me, pick me. Buddy, oh buddy. Red mustache Sam. Oh, man.
In the West.
That's
say
true.
That. If we were in, 1500s, wherever, we probably wouldn't think that.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, well, how am I going to say that?
Pre-enlightenment.
Pre-enlightenment.
Yeah.
But the thing about slavery is that you still have a right to life.
Mm-hmm.
You are at least alive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You are alive. Now, do you have a right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness?
They don't have a right because they don't decide whether or not they're alive. That's not their right. Their owner has the right to their life. It is not this. They do not own their right to life if they can't choose what to do with it. And they
The dumbest thing. It's so dumb. Mind you, we started off by saying that the reason why she made this equivalency is because she felt like people were desensitized to abortion. As she then proceeds to marginalize the impact and what slavery actually meant, to then try to do the exact same thing as slavery.
If slaves worked under conditions where they would be alive and would
Y'all know what I say, man. Them feminists is just walking contradictories.
and I'll be like, okay, they had the right to
Walking
like, for example, if you're in
contradictions.
prison, you still have your right to life.
Yeah.
You don't have your freedom, but you have your right to life. People were dying, mining for fucking gold and diamonds, and niggas was in the sugar fields. They were dying. That's the right to life.
And again, it wasn't up to them. At any point, if the slave owner wanted to come over and off them, he could do that.
That's not a right to life.
That's not a right to life. It's literally the exact same thing you're fighting against when it comes to the procedure.
Yeah, and slavery
It's literally, if you're saying that the mother has the decision what she wants to do, it's the same thing with the slave master having the decision on what they want to do. It's by again, just using your dumbass logic, it's the same thing. That's not a right to life.
Thing in their life that allows them to transcend the suffering.
Well, let's talk about today. I still support abortion is worse. I still support abortion is worse than slavery. Look at the types of slavery that's going on right now, right here in this country, and you're gonna say that's a really big stretch for you to call slavery. I don't know, student debt. I call that slavery.
You do?
What the fuck? Bro, what the fuck am I listening to? What the fuck am I listening to? Bro, what? No. Hey, man. If student debt is slavery, then so be it. Cause what the fuck? Y'all got some crazy takes out there. I'll give it to you. I'm gonna end it right there.